Hey, what's going on? Coin Up TV subscribers, Robert Welkner here. Gonna do another review for a classic Shaw Brothers martial arts movie. This time it is called Dirty Ho. Dirty Ho is from 1979, directed by Lau Kar-leung. I watched it on the Shaw Brothers Volume One Collection from Arrow Video. Although I've seen this many a times, I've had bootleg VHS tapes and DVDs and everything like that along the way, probably even on streaming. So it's a movie I've seen many a times, but spoiler alert, it's not one of my top tier Lau Kar-leung movies. It's not one of my top tier Shaw Brothers movies. And I don't know why that is, because so many people I know hold Dirty Ho in such a high esteem as like a top movie. They love it. They appreciate it. It doesn't really jive 100% with me. I got some of my notes here. First, let me go down my the synopsis on IMDb so you can find out more about the movie if you're unfamiliar with it. On IMDb, it says, the 11th son of the Qing emperor, who's a kung fu master, is visiting Canton incognito. While there, he meets a loudmouth thief who he takes under his wing, while assassins sent by his fourth brother threaten his life. Even reading that synopsis, I'm thinking, yeah, the story is a little convoluted and kind of like confusing and hard to follow, and maybe that's part of the problem with why I don't really jump into this so much as a favorite. But it stars Wong Yue and Liu as I wrote down as a couple of con men, one of them acting like a con man, who like hanging around brothels and getting into petty fights. That's my synopsis. That's what I think this movie is about. Lo Lieh has a small role as the villain in this, and I wrote in my notes here that the most memorable part in the movie for me, the most standout, is the final fight scene with Lo Lieh. Of course, you always got handed to Shaw Brothers when it comes to these movies. Love him or hate him, there's always a build-up to a great like 20-minute fight scene in the end. I almost feel like you can kind of count on that with every Shaw Brothers movies, and even some of these movies that I give like low letter grades to. Generally, I might rewatch them again just for the final fight scene alone and appreciate it. But that doesn't mean that the entire movie in its 100% is appreciated by me. So I wrote down here in my notes that most of the fighting scenes are jokey. I couldn't really take them all that serious. They're pretty silly, and I wrote down not that interesting. I mean, maybe it's because there was no like weight to them, or like what was at stake. The stakes weren't as high is what I'll say, since they were kind of like comical and stuff. I mean, yes, we got some great choreography, we got some great acrobatics, but when the stakes aren't so high, it kind of takes things a little bit away from the dramatic tension for me to really get like sucked in there. So Dirty Ho, I give it a C-. I know people in the comments are going to be like, Rob, you're crazy. This is a AAA movie, double thumbs up, 5-star, 10-star, whatever. I've seen Dirty Ho probably 20 times over the span of my life on TV, VHS, DVD, and now on the Arrow collection. And I don't know, it doesn't click with me. It's interesting though, because it's paired with Heroes of the East on the collection, which does click with me, and I also did a review for that, so check that out. So no commentary on Dirty Ho, which is a little bit of a drag, but Tony Raines does his filmed appreciation on both films, Dirty Ho and Heroes of the East, so that's great. And there's some trailers and stuff. I would have liked to seen maybe like a commentary on here. Brand new 2K restoration of Dirty Ho from the original negative. So that's great. Picture looks great. Sound is great. It's nice to have in the collection. And I look forward to your thoughts on Dirty Ho and what you think of this movie in general. And if I'm completely wrong, prove me. Come at me, bro. So thanks so much for watching for Coin Out TV. We'll see you next time.